When you know that you are queer, but your favorite drink is beer, that's gayish. You can bottom without stopping, but you can't stand going shopping, that's gayish. Oh, gayish, you're probably gayish. Well, life's just too short for narrow stereotypes, so it's gayish. We're also gayish. It's Gayish with Mike and Kyle.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish.
The podcast that's almost done with its taxes.
Almost.
Getting so close.
In July?
Nailed it.
Nailed it. I'm Michael A. Johnson.
I'm Kyle E. Getz.
We're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And today, Uncle Sam, don't hurt us.
Don't come for us. Today we are going to talk about lesbian bars.
We're going to talk about lesbian bars. Happy Pride, Kyle. Thanks.
Happy Pride, happy lesbian.
Thanks for the Pride beverage.
Yeah, no problem.
You're very sweet.
I have not done anything to recognize the occasion, so giving you alcohol is the least I could do.
I mean, the weight of my heart is through my liver. Mm-hmm. But first, are you doing anything for Pride? Like
Pride already happened. Which is always interesting for them.
Sure.
And the next holiday is July the 4th, so happy birthday, America. Let's celebrate her.
Oh my God, 250 years old, and fuck that bitch.
Yeah. I don't have any plans for Pride this year. I have a date scheduled for Pride because neither of us were doing anything.
Okay. Is that a yellow flag?
On whose part? I don't know. Both of ours? Do we both get a yellow flag on the play?
I just think so a first date on any major holiday, especially Valentine's Day, is like a don't do that. Yeah. And then I just wonder if for gay people, if that also includes Pride, the weekend that it's in your city.
Does this change if it's a second date?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yeah, a second date is better. That's fine.
We agreed that we were not doing anything and could hang out Sunday, and we could cancel at a moment's notice if something comes up. So
you're adults; you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you doing for Pride?
Nothing. Not a goddamn thing, Kyle.
Okay.
I am tired.
Okay. Are you gonna? I think Pride can mean doing different things. Maybe it's investing time in yourself and resting your body. Maybe that's what your body needs to be good.
I'll be proud of being horizontal.
I'm proud of you no matter what position you're in.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah.
Okay, now the news.
Shut your mouth hole. It's time for your ear holes. News.
Okay, first we have an update, Kyle.
Okay.
This is a story that we started talking about here a few months ago, and following a 9-2 vote, the Minneapolis City Council voted this Thursday to repeal the city's longstanding ban on adult bathhouses.
This is good. So now they can have bathhouses again, right?
They can have bathhouses again.
Oh, I'm sure there are some people. I mean, I wonder how quickly they can get them up. And I think first to the punch, maybe the winner of the long-term cake.
Yeah, the last bathhouse in operation in Minneapolis closed in 1988 during the height of the AIDS crisis. And the members of the council emphasized that the repeal of the ban does not mean that such facilities can open right away.
Oh.
Rather, now that the repeal is in place and the mayor is expected to sign it, but the council then has to set up regulations for how bathhouses can function. So it's going to be probably a couple of years at least before they start. But this was the first step of just getting rid of the ban completely. So with a little bit of regulatory work to do, but the big, hard, difficult ban part is the part that's been fixed.
Isn't the setting up this there have to be some kind of governing rules around setting up a private club, and can't they just follow those rules? Do there have to be specific rules laid out before they can open up? It's now repealed, now they can just open based on the current rules that govern a private club?
Well,
this is me not knowing anything and taking a swing at how this might work, but
so let's see. Chavez. Who is Chavez? He is the Jason Chavez, who's the only out queer member of the council, co-authored the two ordinances required to repeal the ban, and said, quote, "We still need to work on zoning, the safety and regulations, so bathhouses won't be able to open tomorrow or next week." That's the end of the quote. He said that they needed to figure out requirements for condom availability, monitoring, staff training, waste disposal, and showers.
Waste disposal? It's my fucking mouth.
Don't you know how bathhouses work?
No.
I mean, I guess they don't. They haven't had them in 40 years. But Yeah. Anyway, good work.
Good work. Sorry,
Minneapolis.
I'm getting into the legal technicalities, but yeah, that's great. That's awesome. That's exciting.
Have more access to strangers' dicks any day now.
Oh, I bet they can't wait.
Okay, news the first, Kyle.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this Pete Buttigieg thing?
No, what'd he do?
Oh my God, well, that's what he didn't do. Pete Buttigieg said Friday that an anonymous Child Protective Services allegation brought police and CPS to his family's home this week, forced his 4-year-old twins into forensic interviews, and left him briefly separated from them before authorities concluded the report was false.
That's got to be someone on the right that called in a tip or something.
How
right?
is this not just cruel, politically motivated hoax?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
Pete Buttigieg.
And how would you? You'd have to know not to like take reports on celebrities and politicians like this as seriously. You got to do additional due diligence before you investigate, because you can't investigate every single person that calls like 911 on Britney Spears.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know, like, I haven't had Child Protective Services called on me even once.
That-
So how famous do you got to be, you know? The Advocate is reporting on this. Michigan State Police said it received an anonymous report and referred the matter to Child Protective Services. And then, quote, the Michigan State Police and Child Protective Services responded and determined the report was false. False reports are dangerous and divert law enforcement officers and Child Protective Services workers from responding to legitimate emergencies and protecting vulnerable children and families. Then why did you fucking go?
Yeah, that seems like such an obvious lie.
Or check it out. That's fine. But like, maybe it shouldn't take like hours and require you to be like separated from your children. I don't know what the protocol is, but the whole thing seems really fucking stupid.
Yeah, it does.
But then I think, like, well, what would you do if, it, like, let's say that he was a straight guy and, like, totally banging those kids or something? Like, you know, what would the protocol then be? Would it look the same? Should it be the same? Anyway, Kyle, the whole thing is upsetting.
No, there's, like, you can't remove the, like, minority complications that this adds of people assuming that gay couples can't raise children. Like, that's probably a factor that plays into someone making this kind of false report. So that wouldn't happen to straight people.
And you don't want to get rid of anonymous tips, though. Right? But then also, like, what's the burden of proof?
Yeah, I think you could, like you were saying, like maybe you don't have to make it as intense. You can go in and show up and walk around the house with the parents and get a feel for if you need to come back and investigate again, or if you're good upon, you know, a 15-minute walkthrough.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm so sorry, Buttigieg.
Buttigieg. That sounds like the new like Ford Buttigieg.
Yeah, maybe Volkswagen. Volkswagen Buttigieg.
Yeah.
News the second, Kyle.
Yeah.
FIFA was forced to confirm last week that rainbow flags would be permitted inside the stadium for the Egypt versus Iran World Cup match in Seattle, Washington. For Pride, and this was despite objections from both countries to Pride-themed events around the match.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. You got to respect our culture. That's what we had to do previously, so we talked about this a bunch on the World Cup episode, but fuck off.
Yep. In a statement, FIFA said, quote, general statements of human rights, including rainbow flags and other flags representing sexual orientation and gender identity, are permitted under the FIFA World Cup 2026 Stadium Code of Conduct and may be displayed inside stadiums. Hannah Tedeschi, a spokesperson for Seattle's World Cup organizing committee, said FIFA treats the rainbow flag as a statement of human rights, so fans are allowed to fly it in the stadium. Now, there was a bunch of backlash as early as 2025 in December that there was a random draw that paired Egypt and Iran and put them in this slot that happened to be in Seattle on Seattle's Pride weekend.
Yeah. Maybe go astray from the random selection just for this one. I don't know.
Oh, like you think that there's shenanigans?
No, I think there should be shenanigans, and no one shenanigans. They shenana firsted. Like they need to shenan again.
They shenaned. They need to shenan again.
Yeah, so that this didn't happen.
Yeah, it makes me so happy that those two countries of all countries. I mean, the important thing to realize, if you didn't realize already, is that like same-sex sexual activity between men, especially in both of those countries, is severely punished. And in lots of parts of Iran, especially, the death penalty is warranted if the judge decides so. So anyway, both Iran and Egypt complained to FIFA, and FIFA said, nah.
Good.
Mostly
finally.
because Seattle said, we don't fucking care.
Yeah, it's fucking pride, and you're going to have to deal with it.
Goodness. News the last, Kyle.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about lesbian bars, this is not a lesbian bar, but Knoxville, Tennessee, Club XYZ is closing. It's a long-running LGBTQ plus bar in Knoxville's Happy Holler area, which I want to be... I want the neighborhood to be called Happy Holler.
Yeah, that's cute.
But they're preparing to close after more than 20 years in business, and that means that there is now only one bar left in Knoxville, Tennessee.
One LGBT bar?
One LGBT bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can you imagine if there's only one bar and it was a gay one?
Oh, that's kind of might be our pathway to acceptance, because if you only have one place to drink and you're a straight person, you're going to go there because drinking is important.
Yeah. The property owner, Daniel Hsu, said in a statement that the community can expect a new LGBTQ allied business to open in the space in the coming months. But Club XYZ's final night in business is expected to be Saturday, the day that we're recording this. So really sorry, Knoxville. I think we're going to talk about lesbian bars and all of the drama around lesbian bars, but even queer bars that aren't just specific same gender or single gender spaces are also struggling. So.
I have some numbers on that. I have some gate on that.
Great.
So
well,
stay tuned.
That's the news, Kyle.
Speaking of things that are disappearing slowly, we have no new Patreon members.
Oh, no, it's a hate crime.
So,
okay, wait. Okay, hold on.
What?
Go.
Hey, Mike.
If they're not paying us on Patreon because they're planning on coming on our cruise, I can sort of support it for a little while.
You think the $2 a month they save from not joining the Patreon is going to get them to the cruise?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You had to stand your ground on that one, didn't you?
I do.
Okay.
In my heart, just
okay.
Like so. What is the cruise? But like 10 or 15 years of Patreon.
Yeah, if you want to go on the cruise and be a Patreon member, we would love you doubly as much. You can DP us with your money. So if you want to give us money, if you want to support us, if you want ad-free episodes a day early, if you want bonus content, if you want merch, if you want to create your own episode topic, all of those benefits are available if you go to patreon.com/gayish podcast.
Do it.
I think from now on, I'm going to, if we don't have Patreon members, read the names like starting from the beginning and just start reading the names of the earliest Patreon members to thank them again. We'll go a second time through.
Sure. Okay.
Why not?
Yeah. Why not? Go for it.
Okay.
I support this.
Okay. It's
Good
decided.
Do you want to talk about lesbian bars?
I do. And before that,
okay.
I forgot to say stuff before the news. So I'm going to say stuff now.
Okay, what stuff are you
saying? I have
saying?
stuff to say.
Say them.
Okay, I will.
Shut up, Kyle.
Coward.
Shut up and talk. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride to us all. If you want to join our 500th live stream.
Hey, listen to Kyle.
Ooh, yeah.
Shut up and listen.
Shut the fuck up. If you want to come to our 500th episode live stream, that is happening on July 12th at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Join us live to watch us answer your questions and make some announcements. It's going to be great.
Hey, we have an ultra super secret surprise that's happening that day, and you will want to be there for it.
We have a podcast changing announcement to make.
Yep.
That you will need to tune into.
Is it going to be that I'm rage quitting? Maybe. Is it that 500 is a nice round number? We're stopping there? Could be.
There's a big announcement coming, and we won't even hint about what it is.
If we're adding a third person to the podcast?
Oh my God. It's like in a relationship. Once you add a third podcaster, you know you're downhill. You're trying to save it.
I mean, were we ever uphill?
Oh, good point.
It's going to be super exciting. Be excited, everybody.
Oh, you can't wait. Also, for that in preparation, we need your questions so we can answer them. We have roughly 0. So we need them. Send us your questions by July 10th, please. And you can send us a audio and send those to Gayish +500 Gayish Podcast? Gayish
Podcast plus sign 500
at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Also, Patreon.
What if we've just been fucking up the email address? We've gotten thousands of questions.
That's where all our fan mail is. Joe Rogan's like, hey, do you want to be on an episode? And we just missed it.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
You would do Joe Rogan?
Oh, yeah. I mean that in any way you want to take it. But yeah. Okay, sorry. Not enough about my conservative fetish. Patreon, we have a request for you that we've said on the Patreon segments, so get your audio in by July 10th as well. Okay, now we can talk about lesbian bars.
Okay.
Sorry, lesbians, you have to wait for the gays.
Yeah. Stand back, lesbians.
Gays
We're not done yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Lesbian bars. We've been trying this new thing where we talk about personal stuff up front. Like, how often have you found yourself in a lesbian bar and then wondered, am I a lesbian now?
Am I a lesbian? I don't think so. I have gone. I think the last time I went was maybe when I was like 23. When I coordinated LGBT groups events, and I think someone was like, hey, whenever you plan bar events, you always go to a gay bar. And I was like, that's a good point. I am a gay man, so that's where my head goes to.
You didn't just say duh.
Of course, Abby. And who are you? I then planned a night at one of the lesbian bars, and I don't know that 23-year-old me was culturally sensitive enough to be like, are you the right person to plan this? Should you be there actually or not? Like, what's this group is mostly gay men. How's that gonna? I didn't think about any of that. I just said, let's do it. And we did it. And so that's the last time I was there. Everyone was really friendly. Someone, I'm presuming a lesbian, was in line in front of me, and she's like, we're trying to be more welcoming and open. So that's a really important thing. And I was like, oh, cool. It's felt that way. And she was like, yeah. And then I looked down and she had a hook for a hand.
Oh.
That had nothing to do with the other stuff we were talking about. It's just a true thing that happened.
Okay.
So they were, I feel like, making an effort to be welcoming of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a good experience, but I don't and wouldn't go unless I was invited by a lesbian friend these days.
That's exactly right. I think, we'll talk more about all of this and the culture of it or whatever, but like, not all spaces are for everyone. And you just want to be really careful and sensitive to whether your presence is acceptable.
Yeah. Welcome, wanted, needed, accepted. Yeah.
And there has been this, like, historically, the thought of like, so Wild Rose is the lesbian bar here in Seattle. And I've been a few times, always with like friends who are sapphic themselves and invited along for whatever night adventure that we're on. And there has always been this thought of like, they need our money, so give them your money. But also, don't just show up with money and think that means that that's okay to be there.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It is a struggle. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this actually in one of my segments. But yeah, it is a struggle to try to find the balance between you wanting to support a lesbian bar and not wanting to prioritize yourself in spaces. So if you do go, at least make sure you know that you're whether you're with another person or not, like, you're a guest there. You are not. You do not prioritize yourself. Tip super fucking well, and yeah, you're there to support them. So give them tons of money. Don't become a drunken mess. That's not your space to do that.
Yep.
Keep your shit together.
Put your dick away.
No one wants that. And don't be too loud like Americans in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. All good advice, Kyle.
Yeah. Okay.
Tips for going to a lesbian bar if you ain't one.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm the one giving lesbian bar tips. I don't know what to do at a lesbian bar.
Just be deeply uncomfortable.
Don't put on a wig.
You're good at that, actually.
I'm very good at that. I feel it right now. Don't put on a wig and show up and go, you ladies. You.
Is that enough personal stuff?
Did I have anything else? I've gone to less bars overall, just as a human, because I'm getting older. So bars have become less and less in my life. So I don't know. It makes sense that I've also not gone to lesbian bars for that reason.
Is it because I moved far, far away and we can't influence each other anymore?
Yes. Yes, for sure. It makes it harder to go up, but I don't know. I think we do a lot of stuff inside with playing games and stuff at people's houses. So yeah, I think that tends to be the predominant like way I socialize.
Yeah. True. Well, I'm going to talk to you about the history of lesbian bars, Kyle.
Okay.
And so I mean, lesbian comes from Sappho of Lesbos. It means a person from the island of Lesbos. And Sappho of Lesbos was like she was a lesbo, man. She wrote lots of poetry talking about how hot them other chicks was and how much she wanted to do them. And but that's legit how lesbian became the word lesbian. And of course, like bars, the way that we conceive of them have been around for a few hundred years now. But before the bar, it grew out of so lesbian bars grew out of the prohibition queer underground. So in the United States anyway, all booze was illegal starting in 1920 by constitutional amendment, and then we repealed that in 1933. So but there's this 13-year period of history where like all booze was illegal in this country.
Can you imagine?
Like the gays would keep drinking, and apparently so did the lesbians.
We'd find a way. Life finds a way. Gays find a way.
I mean, we're so close to Canada. You know, those booze hounds are never going to put down the bottle.
Oh, that's a really good point. Thanks, Canada. We respect you for more than just your booze.
Not that we're allowed in Canada anymore, and rightly so. But a speakeasy was the name of an establishment that was operating as a bar or tavern underground and illegally during that Prohibition era. And a speakeasy that served queer people was just one more illegal thing in a building of already illegal things. But so when speakeasy culture was really taking off, queer people were like, if all these straight people can have secret bars, we could have secret bars.
Yeah.
And so we did. And that gave queer nightlife the cover to flourish in ways that it hadn't really before.
Thanks, Prohibition.
Buffet flats were the proto-lesbian bar. There were private apartments that you could find booze, gambling, all kinds of things, and, quote, all manner of sexual partners, according to a guide from the time. And after-hours venues that were run out of black Harlemites' homes... They were originally lodging for black travelers that were shut out of segregated hotels. But those evolved into spaces where gay, lesbian, gender nonconforming people could just do their thing. And queer and commercial sex flats were flourishing even before Prohibition. But Prohibition is sort of creates the environment for the people that were operating lesbian-ish bars in those apartments. Then like they already had the infrastructure to expand into the speakeasy niche.
Yeah, makes sense.
Alelia Walker's Dark Tower Salon in 1927. It was in New York. It was 108 West 136th Street, and it was like the fanciest, the ritziest end of this world. Do you have stuff on this already?
No, I'm keeping an eye on what I do have to see if it overlaps.
Okay. So, heiress to the Madam C.J. Walker hair care fortune, Alelia threw legendary parties. We're talking like caviar and champagne, and she welcomed queer and straight guests equally, which was quite unusual for the time. Langston Hughes said she sent hundreds of invitations, and if you came late, you just couldn't get in.
Wow.
But that was like a famous example of this era and this like, not a lesbian bar, but like there's a lesbian bar. Gladys Bentley is the patron saint of the tuxedo. She was a 250-pound black openly lesbian blues performer who played Harlem's gay speakeasies, including Harry Hansberry's Clam House, which that's a fantastic name for a lesbian bar, in a white tuxedo and a top hat, and growled raunchy lyrics. Had a chorus of drag queens behind her. She publicly married, big old quotes around married, but married a white woman in a civil ceremony in Atlantic City. She was just like super extra lesbo.
Wow. This is, what was her name?
Gladys Bentley.
Gladys Bentley. That's a name to remember. I'm not going to remember. I'm so sorry, Gladys.
It's okay. She's real dead.
Okay.
But yeah, so she becomes this sort of iconic figure that represents lesbian bar culture in a way that you can still see a lot of influences if you know where to look. In 1952, she published an essay in Ebony claiming that she'd been cured of her lesbianism and had married a man.
Oh boy, was it a funny joke or an April 1st episode?
Well,
I mean,
no
publication?
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
It was in 1952, though, and lots of people who have studied her life believe that that was just a survival move. That post World War II, we took a big old shift to the conservative side of things during the Eisenhower administration, and that it was like a lot of lesbian spaces and out lesbian folks were like running back underground and giving up queer identity because it was unsafe.
That's so sad. I wonder what that's like living in a conservative hellscape.
Yeah. Give it a couple of years, Kyle. Let's see what happens. Okay, so Mona's in San Francisco is the bar that everyone calls the first lesbian bar in America. Mona and Jimmy Sargent were a married couple, but they opened Mona's on Union Street in 1934, and in 1936 moved it to North Beach. And by the time it moved a few times, and then its final home was 440 Broadway, and it was called Mona's 440 Club. The slogan of the bar was "Where girls will be boys," which that seems problematic, but it was the 30s. So.
Yeah. I think there are some things that we used to be better in some ways about incorporating, like trans and non-binary people and gender non-conforming people. Like we used to all be the riffraff and illegal and whatever. So we all, I think, were a little bit together more. We didn't have words for all these distinct things. So like gay was the closest you could find. I'm not saying that's better or worse. I think it's just different than how it was today. Yeah. And I could see people using that kind of line in earlier times.
I think there was definitely a incorrect but well-natured sort of belief that if you were a gay man, you were a woman trapped in a man's body. That if you were a gay woman, you were a man trapped in a woman's body. And so you see these slogans like "Where girls will be boys" as a nod to that. Yeah. And even people who had queer identities thought that of themselves.
Yeah,
right, in a lot of
that was
cases.
the best they could pinpoint what was happening for themselves because we didn't have the language around it.
Exactly right. But so at Mona's 440 Club, the female waitstaff and entertainers all performed in tuxedos.
Cool.
The whole aesthetic was women claiming masculine drag in public for an audience that came specifically for that. Now, Mona's catered to the local queer community, not slumming tourists. So there were a bunch of queer-ish night spots that existed for straight folks to come watch the pansies that existed. But Mona's was the first openly lesbian club that was aimed at actual local lesbians to come and be, have their space. And Gladys Bentley herself headlined there, plus a woman named Beverly Shaw, Frances Faye, and Moms Mabley. Now, you got to be a little bit careful calling it the first lesbian bar in the U.S. There are places that say that that Mona's was the first lesbian bar in San Francisco. And first in America is a popular claim that's repeated at lots of places, but is really, really hard to prove because of prohibition. Like there were places that lesbian bars that quote unquote open in 1933. Well, that just happens to be when prohibition ended, right?
Right.
So it's really hard to know who the first was exactly. But by the mid-50s, a new owner named Ann D. Bought it, renamed it Ann's 440 Club, and stopped being lesbian.
Oh.
Yeah. Just like with gay men, lesbian bars became like the cultural center, right? And we've talked about the pros and cons of that when it comes to gay men, but the same calculus can be made for women of is a place that the sole purpose is to get hammered and cruise. Is that healthy community? But it was the community that we had.
Yeah.
Right. And lots of really good social organizing and community work got done through bars. But it was this sort of that was the best that we could do, right? We didn't have churches for gay people. We didn't have employee resource groups for gay people. You had gay bars and lesbian bars.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what the ideal situation is. I don't know that we have it set. I don't think we have it figured out now that that was rough when bars were our main go-to place. So good thing we changed it and now we have... I don't know what would end that sentence. So I don't know that we figured it out.
We just need a gay church, Kyle.
I would love a gay church.
We just need a Jesus with a huge dick, and everybody worships him.
Oh, can we make it just like the head peeking through a loincloth? Like, we don't want to go like full dong right away, but a little head peeking out.
Yeah,
Sexy.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
What would we call it? The Church of Gayology?
That might be a little on the nose.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair.
Let me think about that.
Okay.
I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I'm not going to.
Homotheistic?
I do like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
The
like
Church of Homotheism?
I'm just gonna. I don't know, Kyle.
Or the Britney Spears commemorative? I don't know.
She could be a patron saint. Or
Okay.
something.
Oh my God! All the
Saint-
divas would be the patron saints.
Saint Brittany. Yeah, absolutely. Saint Cher.
We should do
Saint
like
Madonna.
Yeah, we should do like the sisters do of the of the traveling pants of the traveling
Perpetual
faces.
indulgence?
Yes,
The Sisters of the Traveling Faces.
you know how the sisters of the traveling faces.
We are saints.
We're saints. One.
We were sainted by them. We should at least know their name.
That's very fair. That is very fair. I'm a saint. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
That's true.
But we could create our own saint program and Saint Madonna. How many times do you think she's been sainted? Like probably by a bunch of different places.
Maybe by the Sisters of Perpetual
Probably by the
Indulgence.
Sister Perpetual Indulgence. Yeah. Anyway,
If they'll have us, it's pretty easy.
open door policy.
Let's see. There is a book that was written in 1993 called Boots of Leather, Slippers of Gold. And historians Elizabeth Lipovsky Kennedy and Madeline Davis spent about 14 years collecting oral histories from 45 women of Buffalo, New York's working class lesbian community from the 30s to the 60s. And it was the first comprehensive history of lesbian community. And they talked a lot about bar culture, lesbian bar culture. And they said that butch femme wasn't a style, it was a social code, and the bar was where you performed it. And I think that's really interesting because, like, you think about, like, gay dudes get all gussied up in their, like, twink uniform to go to the bars, and it was very much the same sort of idea of, like, helping each other butch up for getting dressed for each other at the lesbian bar. There were police raids, just like with gay bars. The lights would flick on. There was a scramble. People would get arrested. But just like with gay bars, lesbian bars were frequently mafia-owned. And for one blunt reason, legitimate operators couldn't or wouldn't run them, so organized crime stepped into the vacuum. In the 1960s in New York City, the Genovese family controlled most of Greenwich Village's gay and lesbian bars. And it was both protection and exploitation at the same time for mafia to own and operate your bar.
What a weird, fucked up relationship. Was it just because bar owners couldn't make a profit off of lesbian bars or gay bars, for that matter, that mafia owned it?
Well, I'll talk about the legal stuff here in a segment later in the episode. But strictly speaking, in a lot of places, it was illegal to operate a bar that was for gay people. So the mafia, organized crime, would pay off the authorities. And so it was like, as an independent bar owner, you didn't have the leverage to make the police go away, but the mafia did.
Gotcha.
Anyway, that's some history, Kyle. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, but like lesbian bars and gay bars have pretty similar parallel paths, but definitely have their own distinct cultural things. And yeah.
I'm going to tell you some data about lesbian bars.
I want to hear it.
Okay, you told us the history. Now we're going to look at more recent trends because I have data from 2017 to 2023.
Okay.
And actually, there are 4-year data points from 4 years: 2017, 2019, 2021, 2023, and 2017 and 2019 are sourced from the Damron Travel Guide, which is the only national and most complete listing for LGBTQ places that also indicated the specific sub-communities they served, which is important when you... Not just LGBT bar, we need lesbian bar.
Sure.
So it needs to have indicated what location or what sub community it catered to. The 2021 and 2023 data points come from a census of gay bars taken from February to May of their respective years. They label the bars as one of the following: mostly or only men, cruisy or leather is its own category. That primarily, they acknowledge that serves primarily men as well.
I
So
was going to ask.
Yeah.
I thought you would maybe full body eye roll me if I.
Oh, no, that's legit. When that's broken out, it's like, but isn't that also for men? Yeah, mainly for men. There's mixed men and women. Sorry, non-binary people, you are not on the list. Lesbian is its own category, and people of color is its own category as well.
Again, from people of color that are men, or like.
Oh, it didn't. I don't think it said.
Or like, do black lesbians get both labels? Like,
oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know that much about the bars that were catering to people of color.
if you're going to invent a labeling system, be prepared for intersectionality, Kyle.
Maybe they did, and I just didn't read it. It was a very short study, and I still didn't read the whole thing because it was just these 4 years and data points, and they put together a chart. I actually typed up the data in the chart. They had some numbers wrong. They did some math wrong, or did some weird, funky things to the math that I don't understand, because the numbers didn't add up like I expected them to. Anyway, so this is my data that I put together based on their data. Of the 1,777 LGBTQ bars in 2017, this was the breakdown. 24% were mixed men and women. 42%, just 0.1 percentage points lower. 42% though was mostly or only men, and 7.1% were cruisy or leather. 6.7% were people of color, and 1.9 were lesbian bars.
Okay,
so
not very many.
Not very many. 1.9% is a pretty small number, especially considering there are 42% are men or mostly men.
Yeah.
There are, I don't know, there's like roughly the same number of lesbians as there are gay men, right?
Sure.
It's in the ballpark of each other, right? Within a few percentage points. Like,
for sure.
If there's 5% of us, there might be 3% of them, or 4% of them, or 5% of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So nothing that would make it so this level of disparity would explain it just based on the numbers.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, well, like the percentage of actual lesbians that exist in the world is pretty small when you think about the available people. And it's like, well, yeah, so are gay men.
Right.
That's a small number of people too, but we still have enough bars for us.
Right.
So that's not the answer. Anyway, that's not part of the study. That's just a side thing. The total number of LGBT bars from 2017 to 2023 declined by 20.5%. Remember that COVID is in there, so that resulted in a lot of places shutting down, sometimes permanently.
Well, and also, queer people famously were better at the pandemic than straight people. I wonder, like, the straight people bars stayed open because straight people went to them.
Like my parents' fucking neighbors that were jet setting all, they're like, did you know the seats are so cheap right now? And it's like, yes, I did. In fact, know that. Stop being an asshole.
Stop being an asshole.
God, I forgot how angry people made me during that time. Oh, that was horrible. Anyway, for lots of reasons. Anyway, of the 856 LGBT bars left in 2023, the change in percentage of total bars are. So I'm not going to give you the change, like the number of bars, like increase or decrease. I'm going like before the mixed men and women space was the highest percentage. That was 42.2% of the total number of bars. So in 2023, that number increased to, it was 62% of the total number of bars. So there are overall less bars, but that increased by almost 20 percentage points in terms of the mix of bar types.
So that tells you that the other categories were hit even harder.
Other categories, some of them were hit harder. For example, men, or mostly men, decreased by about 20 percentage points. So that mostly accounts for the change in, we're getting less gay male spaces and more mixed men and women spaces, which I think I see personally as well. Do you see that?
Yeah.
I think some of the bars that I used to associate as men only are now include lots of gender presentations.
Yep, totally.
Which I think is a great thing.
Although maybe that's a Seattle thing because we're...
Oh, that's true. No, it seems to be reflected in the overall trends. So I think that's true of other places too. Cruisy or leather decreased by less than 1 percentage point, so pretty negligible. Same for bars catering to people of color. It decreased by less than 1 percentage point. Lesbian bars, their percentage of the total increased by 1.4 percentage points. So it was previously in 2017 1.9%. In 2023, it was 3.4%.
which is still bad, but
Still very, very, very low, but it's interesting that we hear the narrative that lesbian bars are going away. And if you look at the bigger long-term numbers, then that's correct. And also it's interesting that if you look at the smaller trends, like the last 5 years or so, they've actually, that was the percentage. They make up a higher percentage of the total. The number of lesbian bars did actually increase as well from 15 to 29.
Oh, okay.
So it almost doubled. From 2019 when it was at its low to 2023. So it is interesting that they're making a little bit of a comeback, and I wonder if the visibility, the acknowledgement that lesbian bars are dying has inspired people to go, or there's a TV show about it. There's a lot of things that have been covering this, and I wonder if that's had any benefit.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Save them. Save the whales.
Save the lesbian bars. Ooh. Think about language there. What else you got?
I wanted to talk to you about like the legal stuff about lesbian bars, and we talked a little bit about the mafia thing and why, but like the whole fight has always been about liquor licenses. Like it's not about like, no, you can't scissor, or like, well,
it's never all like about the thing specifically. It's about like indirectly things that you're allowed to or not allowed to do as that identity.
But like even during those times when like gayness was illegal, it still wasn't how lesbian bars were like oppressed, I guess. So like nobody was really being prosecuted for being gay, but the state would go after a bar's license, and the liquor authority for each state was usually the choke point. So if you pull the license, then the gathering place vanishes. Nobody shows up to a bar that doesn't have booze.
Yeah,
and
except for Derek.
Well,
he would go to the shit out of that bar.
Yeah, probably. I went to an alcohol-free lesbian bar in Washington, D.C.
Those are two categories you don't fit into.
I know. It was very awkward. That's when we were in D.C. for the podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did I didn't go?
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So the thing was, serving gay people made your bar a disorderly house, which, if you write a law vaguely enough, then you could just pretty much use it for whatever you don't like. Right?
And then you enforce it, and then to try to say, like, that's not what the law means, you have to go through the judicial process, so that takes time, and during that time, you can keep doing the thing that is kind of maybe a little bit illegal.
ICE. Are we talking about ICE?
Oh, we're talking, yes. We're talking about a lot of things.
I mean, you also need ICE for a bar. But,
sure.
Yeah. But not
a deal breaker.
Yeah, not that kind of ice. So the State Liquor Authority in New York had statutory power to revoke the license of any owner who let the premises become disorderly, and the legislature deliberately never defined disorderly.
Right. Oh, also, just to be very clear, fuck ICE.
Okay.
I didn't make that very clear when we were talking. We just talked about it, not our feelings about it. So, yeah.
Yeah, fuck ICE.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I would let an illegal immigrant take care of my dog well before I would let a MAGA person take care of my dog.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Okay, so the State Liquor Authority in New York interpreted that a bar merely patronized by homosexuals was a disorderly house. And in 1959, they announced a campaign to revoke the licenses of every bar patronized by prostitutes or homosexuals. And you didn't have to have sex to prove that. There was no sex required. Just being there was the violation itself. And that's why the mafia ran the bars, because a legitimate owner couldn't keep a license while serving gay patrons, and the only operators willing to take the risk were organized crime. And so if there's a niche, somebody's going to do it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not like the mafia was like, hey, let's, go start a bunch of gay bars. They just saw an opportunity and went for it.
Yeah. Be gay, do crimes means so much. There's so much depth to that phrase that, it's actually more important than I realized.
Yep. So Stallman versus Riley, which is a California Supreme Court case in 1951, that was the first LGBTQ legal victory in U.S. history.
Wow.
But San Francisco's Black Cat Cafe had its license suspended for letting persons of known homosexual tendencies, that's a quote, known homosexual tendencies, gather. And the California Supreme Court reversed unanimously. Quote, mere proof of patronage without proof of the commission of illegal or immoral acts on the premises is not sufficient. So just being there is not disorderly. You've got to do something disorderly. So the gays said, hold my beer. But lesbian bars then had protection from that court ruling. The Black Cat was more of a gay men's bar, but like that case led to a bunch of lesbian bars then having sort of similar protections. So then the California legislature passed the Resort for Sexual Perverts statute that's in 1955.
Jesus Christ.
And they made a license revocable where the premises were, quote, a resort for illegal possessors or users of narcotics, prostitutes, pimps, panderers, or sexual perverts.
I'm a sexual pervert, and that's not because I'm gay, but it's not because I'm gay.
Yep. Is that a filter on Sniffies that I don't know about?
Yeah, it's a secret one. You have to know some coding to get in there, but you can find it.
You have to, like, once your frequent flyer card gets to a certain place, and they're like...
Yeah, you have to fuck like at least 100 guys before it'll let you.
Unlocked. Achievement unlocked.
Yep. Oh my God, if they had achievements, like report if you hooked up with this person and like did like little achievements, that would a whole new level of gamifying that I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah. We could write that app, Kyle.
I love it.
Should we?
Yeah.
Great.
It's called Homotheistic.
Yeah. Oh my God. If our gay church came with achievements that you could unlock.
It's getting closer to getting to gay heaven.
Oh my God. So good. So good. So all of that led to this. There was this lesbian bar, Mary's First and Last Chance. It was in Oakland, California. It was a lesbian bar co-owned by Mary Azar and her brother-in-law, Albert Vallerga. And their license was revoked in 1956 under the Sexual Perverts Statute. And the California Supreme Court struck down using that statute against mere status. Homosexual patronage without proof of improper conduct on the premises still wasn't good cause. And so the statute was repealed in 1963 at the Alcohol and Beverage Control's own request. So people didn't realize that, like, actually finally getting protections in the state of California anyway, that was because of a lesbian bar. They were at the forefront there. So the Mattachine Society, they tried to make a bunch of bars into gay bars by just like any bar's a gay bar if you bring enough friends.
Yeah.
And so, but they did it by walking into a bar with reporters in tow and yelling, "I'm a homosexual," and then trying to order a drink. So that the bar would refuse, which I think just like screaming "I'm a homosexual" should probably get you refused service anyway.
It's like me at Christmas that one year.
Yeah. So have you heard this 3 article of clothing rule?
Yes, but I believe we've talked about this previously.
It's not true.
Right. There wasn't like, no one can find where it was actually written down or where this was codified anywhere or how people were hearing about this. Like, where did it come from?
Well, no such numbered law was ever on the books. It was an urban legend, but a very persistent one and a very powerful one even at the time.
But I think it's different than an urban legend because I think people actually used that guideline to help make arrests, right? Or is it apocryphal?
It just wasn't a statute.
I know it's not a Yes, it wasn't a statute, which is surprising to some people. And also, I thought they were using that guideline some way, even if it wasn't somewhere in the laws.
Well, it definitely impacted lesbian bars that way. Without it being actually the law, raids would regularly arrest butch lesbians and trans women and gay men in drag under all of these like articles of clothing rules that weren't actually laws. And because culturally, like we police women's bodies so heavily in our culture that butch lesbians like did the shocking sin of wearing pants and that had to be stopped.
Yeah.
But it turned out that these sort of just attire based harassment really hurt lesbians and lesbian bars more than gay men by some accounts. Again, like a dude in a dress, like whatever is funny, but a woman in pants was like a threat to the patriarchy and they got really fucking accosted for it.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then Stonewall, like a bunch of stuff changed, got better after Stonewall. There's still fights about it for sure. But the private club workaround that you were sort of talking about before is a big old question mark in a lot of places about like whether it is a viable workaround or not for these laws, especially pre-Stonewall, but even now. Like if you start a private club and have a membership, do you get to do stuff that would be illegal in other establishments if they were open to the public? And different states have different setups for that. But there are private clubs that have lesbian only spaces associated with them, and there is some fight a little bit over whether that is a lawful exclusion, right? Like a bar that's open to the public, even if it's a male space, you can't kick women out, at least not in Washington State. You just make it really, really uncomfortable for them and like hope that they get the point.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And
or you can't segregate based on race, like race is a protected class. That
Exactly right. But can you or should you be able to if it is a private club? And it turns out probably because of the patriarchy again that like women who have tried to start private clubs that are for women only, lesbian only spaces have sometimes not had the law on their side. And so it depends on, like we were saying at the very beginning of the show, it sort of depends on people who don't belong there to sort of get the clue and not be a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally don't be a dick. But like, you know,
don't be one, don't have one.
Just respect the space or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the legal status of like, hey, can you have a space that is for women only or for men only, but like for women only? Is that allowed or should it be? Is still debated.
I mean, is that the same question that we have of gay bathhouses?
Sort of, right?
I don't ever feel like I hear debates about that. Like whether, I mean, we just heard one in a state that was bringing it back, but like in Washington, like no one's debating on whether we should have Steamworks or not.
Except in those cases, it's specifically a nude space, and lots of places in the law, bathrooms, the same shit that's hurting trans people, genitals are like, oh my God, everybody freaks out. And so like segregating those spaces, nude spaces, bathing spaces, changing rooms, segregating those by gender, and let's face it, we're not talking about gender, we're talking about genitals, is very much part of the legal landscape. But if everybody has their clothes on and they're just drinking, that's what makes it different as a category.
Interesting.
You don't buy that?
I think that sometimes they let in people with vaginas to some of the bathhouses based on certain nights and
but dudes with vaginas? Yeah. I mean that's where we've arrived, right? In a liberal blue state like Washington, we have these super ass old archaic laws about nudity. The nudity is about gender, but we're progressive enough to say that gender is not what's in your pants. So, like, letting a dude with a vagina into a male-only space, that's, if you squint, justifiable under the law.
Interesting. You also didn't call it a bubble, which I appreciate.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you got, Kyle?
I'm going to do my segment that I did not tell you what it was in advance.
Okay. You said you had a secret. A surprise. You called it a surprise.
I called it a surprise. It's not that good, so I don't know. It's every segment, everywhere, all at once.
Ooh, okay.
Because I feel like when I tell you that, it kind of spoils it. So that's what I'm doing. So we're going to...
I really wish that I had wiener fingers right now.
If I had wieners for fingers...
Like dicks or wieners?
You know what?
Wiener dogs.
One hand to one hand to the other. We're going to start every segment everywhere all at once with a game.
Okay.
This game is Lesbian Bar or Lesbian Bookstore.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm doing every segment everywhere all at once is I do a bunch of segments, but a little piece of what that segment would be.
Great. So
I'm giving you one question.
Okay, one question. Okay, great.
That question is either a lesbian bar or a lesbian bookstore. It is Cheris Books.
That's a bookstore.
Like, tell me your thought process.
I was like, well, that's clearly a lesbian bar because it says books in the title, and Kyle wants to fuck with me. But maybe he would know that I would think that, so it actually is a bookstore that has the word books in it, and but it's like the Princess Bride with the iocane powder. Like, I clearly can't choose the glass in front of you. Kyle, it's a bookstore.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yes.
It is a bookstore. Yes! I did do the thing you thought of trying to double flip it.
I switched classes with you when your back was turned.
I am very surprised I didn't know that. I didn't think you would think that I would think that strategically. So interesting. Yes. It was founded in 1974, independent bookstore in the Atlanta area. It's one of the South's oldest independent feminist bookstores. They specialize in feminist literature, LGBTQ fiction and nonfiction, cultural studies, anti-racism, and have a diverse set of children's books.
Fuck yeah.
The next segment I'm doing is an Ask Reddit. For the Patreon bonus segment, we'll do a full Ask Reddit about people's beliefs on why they don't think there are enough lesbian bars, which the truth of why and people's beliefs about it are very different. And it's interesting to see what some people believe.
Sure.
Anyway, but this Ask Reddit is called, the title of it was Death of Lesbian Bars, posted to late bloomer lesbians by a deleted user. And this user said, since there aren't really lesbian bars anymore, someone should start opening cozy lesbian spots. Lesbian bookstore. There are some which we just learned. Lesbian tea room, lesbian cat cafe, etc. Keep them open late. Host special events.
Lesbian cat cafe.
If it isn't a sustainable business model, it could be a speakeasy style, like in the back room of another business. Sigh, a girl can dream. My favorite response to that post was, cat cafes and vegan restaurants are good spots in the meantime. I really appreciated that. If you can't find a good lesbian bar, just go to the vegan cafe, and that's where you'll find the lesbians.
Yeah.
This is in Urban Dictionary now. It is the definition of lesbian bar.
Okay.
What do you think was going to happen?
I don't know. I was thinking, like, what if, like, some kind of punny joke about like it's a bar, not the kind that you drink at, but like a candy bar, or like a Dove chocolate bar or something.
Oh, you were right when you started talking, and then you ended bad. But when you started talking about it's a punny joke, the definition is a bar where even the pool table doesn't have balls.
Okay. But lesbians love pool.
I know. That's the struggle I have with this joke is, like, any gay bar you go to, there are lesbians playing pool. Yeah. Somehow. They're like, even if they don't have a pool table when they started the night, there are lesbians playing pool somehow.
Yep.
And yeah, I have a brief history. While not a bar, one of the earliest known lesbian gathering spaces was called Eve's Hangout.
Okay.
This is what I was checking to see if the name. It was founded in 1925 in Greenwich Village, and it is a tea room that was shut down by the police.
Sure.
Wah, wah. Yeah. And lastly, I have some data from a 2022 study called The Impact of Lesbian Bar Ownership on USA Lesbian Bar Geographies. There's even more to the title, but I just read that part.
I just got tired.
It's like this by the second line, so I was like, I'm done. By Gregor Matson, they interviewed 15 women owners of lesbian and LGBT bars, and part of the results that I thought were most fascinating that I wanted to include in this segment is that no owners prioritize women's only places. All of them actively refused that idea. Instead, many reported practices to prioritize women in their spaces.
Sure.
But the idea that one of the reasons that women's or lesbian bars don't exist is because they're catering only to women and excluding a big percentage, that doesn't seem to be the goal of the owners of, at least, this is 15, so take it for what you will, but at least in one study, it says that they are not actively trying to only cater to women. So check yourself on whether you think a lesbian bar is only for women, or is it prioritizing women, and you can still go as a guest and be there under situations we described earlier.
Yeah.
That was every segment, everywhere, all at once.
Look at you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Now I'm worried that we have the same segment.
Do you have the same thing?
What's your Ask Reddit going to be about? Is it going to be more about the decline?
It's going to be the reason people think that there aren't enough lesbian bars.
Okay.
Are we going to learn the truth?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's do the truth. No, that's not an overlap because this will be able to see if they're telling the truth or not.
Well, okay. So they call it the Great Vanishing, Kyle. And
I saw it called... I wrote it down just in case. The Great Lesbian Bar Die-Off is what I saw it called.
Yep. That's also true. And the Lesbian Bar Project in 2020 really did a lot of work to sort of bring visibility to the issue, but then also spark the conversation about like, well, then why?
Yeah.
And what's actually happening.
And I remember us talking about this on an episode previously. I think you brought up the Lesbian Bar Project at one point, and I forget which episode because why would I remember?
Yep. Maybe in 2020. We were doing the show back then.
We were doing the show all through the pandemic.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So they used to be everywhere, and now they're almost gone. Like that's the headline. Whether it's true or not, that's the headline. Now there were about 200 lesbian bars operated in the United States in the 80s, by the peak of the 80s, and then by 2019, 2020, when the Lesbian Bar Project started, researchers and the Lesbian Bar Project counted just 15 still standing. And some sources said 21. But that's the whole drama, right? Like it's like 90% of them evaporated over a course of 40 years. So the arithmetic is the thing that everybody quotes. But the numbers are coming from somewhere specific. And there's a sociologist named Gregor Mattson who built...
That's the guy who did this study that I just read.
Yeah, the Dameron Guides, right? That's you just got...
Oh, no, I was talking about those as well. But no, Gregor Mattson is the one that did the thing about... He interviewed 15 lesbian and LGBT business owners.
But he also built a 40-year database from the Dameron Guides.
Oh, cool.
And the modest rebound... is that the count has roughly doubled in the last few years, depending on who's counting and what counts as lesbian. Because is a bar that's open to everybody that prioritizes women, is that a lesbian bar?
Yeah.
And does that depend on who you ask?
Yeah. I think it counts as a lesbian bar.
I would too, but I don't know if the numbers bear that out or not. So there are two filmmakers, that Erica Rose and Alina Street, and they launched the Lesbian Bar Project in 2020 in the depths of the pandemic, to celebrate and financially rescue, hopefully, what were thought to be the last 15 lesbian bars in the country. And there was a PSA that was narrated by Leah Delivria, who was from Orange is the New Black. But it was a 30-day fundraiser that was backed by Jägermeister to try to save these bars. And apparently it worked. It didn't just chronicle that the bars were vanishing, but the publicity plus the money from the campaign helped fuel the rebound. And they started reopening. Now, there are competing theories for the decline, and it's
probably a combination of things.
It's probably a combination of all of those things, and that's the problem. So this isn't necessarily what people think, but they are theories, so it is what people think. So I don't know, Kyle. Maybe we save this for Patreon.
Maybe, is it not what like the public in mass thinks, or is that what you mean?
Well, there is no single cause. All of these theories are a different argument about what a lesbian bar was for and what replaced it or why it went away. And it's almost certainly a combination of all of these factors that is the truth.
Yeah.
So you want to go through all of them
let's go.
that are the truth?
Yeah.
First is the gender wealth gap. Women, and queer women especially, have less disposable income than gay men. And bars are vicious when it comes to real estate, and keeping them open can be difficult because they pay rent increases whether the patrons are, showing up and drinking or not. And lesbian bars historically didn't charge cover or push expensive things like bottle service as part of their experience. And owners have reported being denied bank loans, and the math just kind of works against them in a way that it didn't for gay men's bars. That it's about money, not vibes or anything cultural about how lesbians work. It's just that women make less than men and have less disposable income, and the math is harder to make work for a lesbian bar. Yeah,
you take a low profit margin business and then take away... I don't know what the wage gap is in this country, 15, 30%, whatever it is, of every potential patron's income, and you might be out of your margins. You might be gone now.
Yep, exactly right. And all of these, the places that we have queer spaces tend to be big cities that are more expensive anyway.
Yeah.
Right? There's the assimilation theory that basically as acceptance rose, we didn't need safe spaces anymore, that you didn't need to have a hidden dyke bar to hold your girlfriend's hand anymore. There's a Smithsonian curator named Catherine Ott who said, quote, "There are so many different ways people socialize now that wasn't possible before, and that success killed the institution."
By the way, I've said this before, but on the Lesbian Bar episode, I want to say it again. Do you remember when we used to say dyke and faggot to each other way more?
Yeah.
Like, not you and I. I mean, like,
People.
Like lesbians would call us faggots all the time.
Yeah.
And that was just, I don't know. I enjoyed that time and I appreciated that.
Bring
and I
back
thought it was
faggots.
I think lesbians have total right to say that word. And you got to know the context. Like, I don't know, even if it was some random stranger, if we were having an amicable conversation or she was approaching it in a nice, funny, friendly, certain way, then I think it's totally fine. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't venture a dyke these days.
Maybe a dyke on a bike.
Maybe if it was like Romaine, someone that I'm like, I feel comfortable enough to know that you're okay with this because you've called me a faggot too, and that's totally acceptable.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's some kind of like level of trust there that I could call Romaine a dyke and it would be okay.
That's how you know you've made it, Kyle.
That's how you know.
Apps and the internet replaced the room. That lesbians apparently have dating apps like Her and Lex. I had not ever heard of those before. So
you have heard of Her because that's where Chris and Shayna their podcast used to be owned by Her.
Oh, well, I'll be damned. But that dating apps for lesbians also, the same way that there was downward pressure for gay men to then go hang out and cruise and drink and meet people at bars, that the same thing has happened to them.
Yeah.
And that the margins are tighter, and that made it harder to keep their bars open. There's the identity label shift, that lesbian as a label has contracted, that the community has...
Is that a true thing, or is that a social belief?
So, I don't know.
I would be interested. Maybe we can do a follow-up in another episode or something. Like, I would be curious if the use of the term lesbian has actually gone down by generation, or if that's people's belief that it has, and not. I wonder what the data says.
Well, the community, the narrative is that the community has broadened to use queer, non-binary, trans-inclusive, gender non-conforming language, and that has prompted genuine debate over whether a lesbian bar should be women only, how trans inclusion reshapes that space. And anecdotally, I have like younger queer people in my life now, and the more femme or female presenting ones are less likely to use the word lesbian. That's, I mean, I'm not data, but like anecdotally, they seem to use that word way less than dykes my age. Let's see.
We used to not have that many options. You were like gay or lesbian,
right? Yep. Yep.
And then like bi got included, for a little bit until trans. It used to just be lesbians and gays.
Yep. Yeah. The knock on of that is that like if there's a bunch of queer spaces, like we have Queer Bar here in Seattle, which is going through its own controversy because the Queer Bar is being bought out by the Cuff Complex. Oh. Which is a male-dominated space, and so people are worried about what it means for non-male pan-queer folks and drag. Like it's one of the places on the Hill that consistently has drag in Seattle.
Yeah, but then if they're keeping the name as Queer Bar, like you got to cater to the full spectrum of people.
That's what the anxiety is about. Like if the Cuff Complex folks are buying Queer Bar, how much are they going to change it?
Yeah, hopefully they keep it similar or the same.
Maybe it'll go back to Purr.
Oh God, I wasted so much time in Purr.
Yeah, but yeah. If there are queer bars that are friendly to lesbians, do they need to have lesbian bars anymore? And that this trend of moving towards pan-queer spaces, non-specifically male queer spaces, does that dilute the available audience to keep a lesbian bar open? But
I wonder what part of that is a reaction to the loss of lesbian bars, not the cause of. Like, I wonder if by realizing there are less lesbian spaces, we as queer people hopefully recognize that, like, it's important for lesbians to be able to gather, and trans people and gender non-conforming people and bi people, insert all of the different labels, and they all need spaces and deserve spaces to hang out, and like, come on into our tent, we got you. Like, not every space. There are some super gay male spaces, so it's not every bar, but a lot of bars are totally fine having lots of genders and presentations and identities.
And if there's a dark room in the back, that's probably not.
That might not be for you, and that's fine. Keep your Jaeger, I guess, that we're drinking now because they supported us.
Yeah.
Keep your Jaeger out front.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I don't not like Jaeger. I know it's a very polarizing beverage.
Really? I do not like Jaeger.
Okay, great. And then the last one is gentrification, that the neighborhoods have changed and that rising rents and an influx of well-paid, often male tech bros push out the working class neighborhoods that hosted traditionally dyke bars. San Francisco's Lexington Club closed in 2015, and owner Lila Thurtfield said, quote, "I find myself struggling to run a neighborhood dyke bar in a neighborhood that has dramatically changed." And I know Capitol Hill here in Seattle has had similar struggles, fears, challenges, that like it is super ass expensive, and this is the bohemian fun part of town that people want to be, so that's where the tech bros hang out, and then that raises the price of everything and starts to push out the people who were traditionally part of this neighborhood. So anyway, those are the things.
Well, I'm going to read on Patreon the things that people think that are the causes, and we'll decide how accurate we think they are, and then make fun of them a little bit.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Did we do it?
We don't have to. I mean, lesbian bars are clearly very gay, so that's not a question. So, what question do we ask at the end of this? Can you see yourself? We both said that we don't go to lesbian bars. Could you see yourself going to one now that we've talked a little bit more about it?
Yeah. But only if I was invited. And I have been. Boyfriend has a bunch of like queer friends, and I'm robbing the cradle, so they're all like younger than me, and they've like invited us out, and I think I've been to Wild Rose, which is the lesbian bar here in Seattle. I think I've been to Wild Rose more times in the last 3 years dating him than the 15 years previous to that being out here in Seattle. So,
wow, you hit a little bit of the personal info.
Yeah.
How's your experience been at the Wild Rose?
Fine, great, fun.
Yeah.
Do
you get any like weird looks or any bartenders that
no? But also, I'm super polite and non problematic, and like non-intrusive. I stand politely and I don't try to push in front of anybody, and I say please and thank you and pay for my drink and get out of the line. So. Not saying that my presence might not be a problem for some people, but like in the spectrum of problematicness, I think I'm pretty low.
Yeah. I think this has taught me that I thought don't go to a lesbian bar unless you're an invited guest. And now I feel like I might be opening the door a little bit to like you can go as a guest without someone inviting you if you are respectful and do all those things you're describing, because they need your patronage. Yeah. And it doesn't appear to be that at least the owners are demanding a woman only space. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a break and go to a bar?
Let's go to the Wild Rose. That has been recognized as like, I think the longest running lesbian bar in the US or something like that. It has some title that I thought was really interesting didn't write down.
So the Wild Rose in Seattle, it was established in 1984. It was opened New Year's Eve, 1984, by a collective of 5 women. It is Seattle's only lesbian bar and one of the oldest continuously operating in the country. Yeah. But the Wild Side West in San Francisco was established in 1962. It was founded by Pat Ramsire and Nancy White. It is San Francisco's oldest lesbian bar. It has moved around a bunch, and so does that matter? Like if you move, is it the same bar? I think is part of the thought there. There's the Cubby Hole in New York City. That's in the West Village. It's been there since 1987. It was renamed the Cubby Hole in 1994. So even though it's been there and has been lesbian the whole time, it did change names. Is it the same bar? If it's the same,
I don't think that counts as continuously operating then.
Right. Yep, exactly. Henrietta Hudson in New York City. It was established in 1991, and the owner, Lisa Canistracki, says that it's the longest running lesbian bar in the country, but it is a queer human bar. So is it still a lesbian bar.
I think if they prioritize women, then it is.
Sue Ellen's in Dallas was established in 1989. It's Texas's oldest lesbian bar, named for the Dallas TV character. Walker's Pint in Milwaukee was established in 2001. It's Milwaukee's oldest lesbian bar. And A League of Her Own in Washington, D.C., which we went to when we were there. It was still open and doing its thing and being a lesbian bar. But yeah, the Wild Rose here in Seattle, depending on how you slice it, is the one of the, if not the oldest continuously operating lesbian bar in the country.
Cool. Yeah. You thought the episode was over and you just got to tell more facts.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Spitting them
Left and right.
So should we take a break and go to the Wild Rose?
I never spit. Yeah, let's go to the Wild Rose.
Okay,
break.
We're not doing that.
No, we're not.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
Are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
We are going to do our Gayest Straightest.
We're going to do our Gayest Straightest, but first, hey Kyle.
Hey Mike.
If you wanted to go on a cruise, would you go on it with me?
Yes.
You're gonna.
I already signed up for it. Well, before it was forever away and it was never going to happen. Yeah. Now it's in less than a year.
Now it's
like 9 months away. I could have a baby by then.
It's 8 months away.
Oh, I couldn't have a baby by then.
You could eat a baby.
I could have a preemie by then. Oh, wow. We went different directions with that.
GayishPodcast.com/cruise. Come on the cruise.
Come on the cruise.
Come on my face.
Bring your book.
Bring
for us to sign.
It's February 7th through 14th. It's the Mexican Riviera. Leaves out of LA. It's going to be with Derek and Romaine, and it's going to be fun.
Speaking of books.
Yeah.
We didn't. I think there might be a relevant book that we did not mention on the main episode.
That's absolutely true. Yep. Derek found it, and he told us that he would quit his job if we didn't talk about this book. So here it is. If you want some more information about the nation's lesbian bars, there is a book called The Lesbian Bar Chronicles: The Living History and Hopeful Future of America's Dyke Dives and Sapphic Spaces by Rachel Karp, co-creator of the podcast Cruising. And get it wherever books are sold, except our website. But we would have had her on the show if we'd known that this was going to be...
If we'd done 10 seconds of research.
Well, no, but the book just came out. Even if we had, it wouldn't have been,
Yeah. And please do the things in preparation for our 500th episode.
Jesus Christ, get it together, everybody.
That includes, we need them desperately. We are desperate. It is 4 a.m. on Sniffies, and we are desperate.
Yeah.
So load us up with your questions.
Ooh. I'll try a new tactic, Kyle.
Oh, okay.
If you don't send in your fucking questions so that we can answer them on our 500th episode, I'm just going to ask ChatGPT to ask us questions.
Oh, that's our only option. And y'all fucking hate AI. We know this because we've talked to you about it. Yeah. So if you want us to not turn to AI as a friend, as a lover, as an intimate partner, then you need to fend us off with your questions. Send those in by July 10th to gayishpodcast +500@gmail.com. And also join the live stream on July 12th. That's a Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific.
Do it. Our website is gayishpodcast.com.
Yeah, we are on social media at Gayish Podcast. You can find links to our Facebook group or our Discord or other ways to stay in touch with us at gayishpodcast.com/contact.
Our hotline, you can send us text messages or leave us voicemails, especially if it's your gayest and straightest or your questions for the 500th episode. It's 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply.
Our email is gayishpodcast@gmail.com, or if you want to send your questions, it's gayishpodcast +500@gmail.com.
Our physical mailing address is Post Office Box 19882, Seattle, Washington, 98109. We'll even take your fucking questions there.
No, we won't. We're not going to get the mail before that.
Okay.
Let's do our Gayest and Straightest.
Let's do our Gayest and Straightest. Do you want me to go first?
No, I'll go. I haven't gone first in a while.
Fine.
My gayest is I hired a plumber to fix my sink that has been broken for many years, and I've just been dealing with it, and I finally did it. And there is the straight male tendency to, when you're interacting with some kind of service person that knows a lot of things about something, to pretend like you also know the things and kind of try to be like, no, oh yeah, I did not attempt that. I said what I knew and and then when he asked questions, I said, I do not know. I am unsure.
great.
I don't know the answer to. I didn't try to make it. I said it might be this thing, but it might not be because I don't know how this works. So like the fact that I did not pretend to and get all chummy and try to fake knowledge was part of my gayest.
In Atlanta, I was talking to this Twinkie go-go boy with a giant dick, and he was talking to me about like all of his hacking experience, which as somebody who's been in the tech industry for like 20 years, everything he said was incorrect. And I was just...
Did you correct him?
I just wanted to pat him on both heads and say, no, sweetie, that's not how that works.
Did you, though?
What?
Correct him?
No.
On any of it? No, you just listened and looked.
Just keep talking.
Just keep
dancing.
My straightest is being annoyed at Pride. I left my home this morning and forgot that there is with the street fair kind of thing that happens, and it's already set up, and there are already people walking through, and I was annoyed because I wanted to get to where I was going, and I had to dodge around people and stores that extend into the sidewalk now, and I was just like, fucking Pride.
Yeah.
In my way, I just want to walk.
Yep.
I live in a gay neighborhood, and I'm still one of the fastest walkers. So, that's how fast I walk.
You should get an award.
I should. I don't get enough awards. What about you, Noe?
Well, the gayest thing about me this week was boyfriend and I celebrated our 3-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. With a couples massage and a private suite at the spa. And it was just so...
Like hourly?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was just so gay.
It really was an hourly suite?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
I didn't know that. I was joking. I thought you meant you stayed the night like somewhere, but no. You can get an hourly
We were just there
suite.
for a few hours, yeah.
Wow.
And they
really do just say, fuck here.
And they came and did our couples massage there, and it was classy. It wasn't like a bathhouse, you know. It did have a bathtub. That was fun.
Okay.
But, it was just, you know, it was real gay. I loved it.
Nice.
And then the straightest thing about me this week, boyfriend and I were talking to an interior designer just about like how much does that cost and what do interior designers do exactly. And she was talking to us about all of this stuff, and I did not have any opinions. I had no opinions, no taste, no instincts. I just like, sure.
Have you looked at her like catalog or whatever and been like, I kind of like this stuff?
Well, she told us not to do that.
Oh, why?
And she said, because this is such horse shit, Kyle.
Okay.
If you're an interior designer, I'm sorry, because you probably say things like this to your clients or potential clients. But she was saying, if you look at an interior designer's portfolio, that's the story they're telling about someone else's life, not your life.
But you probably pick the work you're proud of, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what she's saying and why. Anyway.
You do? Do you want to explain it to me?
Like if someone says you must put this sconce here and it has to be this far from the ceiling and whatever, and you're like, that's dumb, but I have to do it because my client told me to. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Then that's the portfolio she might be showing. Yeah.
Yeah. I do not have that gay gene.
No, same.
Yeah. We have a listener's Gayest Straightest?
We do have a listener's Gayest Straightest, and here it is.
Hi, Mike and Kyle. It is your friend Mackenzie, longtime listener, sometimes person who's given you Gayest and Straightest, calling in from Philly. Today, I had my Gayest and Straightest in one go. The gayest was going on a little walk with my little gay girlfriend, and and we were listening to the Star Trek or Fleshlight quiz because she's a Trekkie, and she ended up getting 8 out of 10 right, which is really good. And my straightest was pausing every time we walked past a nice straight person or straight couple so that we would not get too gay around them.
It was quite often. It's pretty crowded.
Anyways, thanks for being gay.
You know what? Not enough people thank me for being gay. You're welcome.
Thank you for calling in from the freeway or wherever you were.
Thank you, Mackenzie, for your guys' straightest. Good to hear from you. Yeah. We appreciate it. I do not remember how I fared at the Star Trek or Fleshlight quiz.
I mean, it sounds like a thing I would do to you.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
It does sound like a thing you would do. Yeah. Anyway, thank you to the lesbian bars that exist. The 29 of them, the 34 of them.
If you are welcome there, go to there and give them your money.
Especially, it's Pride is over. Especially the Pride afternoon. It's like
Happy Pride. The countdown to Pride has begun.
yeah. And thank you to our super gap bridgers. Thank you to Matt H, Jesse, Adam Y, Locomotive, Simon Srirachi, Kaylee Adams, Kid Oliver, Kobe, Gordon, Squaggle, William Bryant, John Crowley, Stephen Porcio, Stossel, Jonathan Montanias, Forrest Nail, Steve Douglas, Explosive Lasagna, Michael Covington, Thomas B, Dusty Sands, A. Coleman, Chris Cacciatorians, and Jerome York. Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your money. That's it. This has been Gayish from the Chris Cacciatorian Studios. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be you. See ya.
See you next week.
Everyone's audio happy?
Yep, I think audio is better. We were just getting to the edge.
I'm on the edge.
That was it? You're leaving us on the edge right there.